It's a brand new season of Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. And you got to go slow like that. You can't just say gorgeous ladies of wrestling. You got to sell it. You got to really sell it. With a full recap of episodes 7 and 8 coming up next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh yeah, they're the lights. Awesome.
Yes. I love everything about this right now.
Right?
Yeah.
So
how fancy are we?
Yes.
It's like going all out all over you.
All right. We're all in it. We take care of our peeps.
Yep. Yep.
I love the lights. Thank you for that. That's perfect.
I know.
It looks beautiful on your vest. It does. It's like the disco. It was very appropriate for the episode.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, absolutely. Well, we are so excited to be here again today. We're recapping episodes 7 and 8. This is such a big deal because sitting next to me is the stunning and former Glow champion, I might add, Americana.
Yay! USA! USA!
USA!
I love it. It reminds me of the old days.
It does. It's good. And to the right of me, we have Alex Rich, and you'll know him as Florian in the new series.
That's me.
Yeah!
Do you want to chant USA too? US.
I do. I need that.
I know. We needed to give you something, and let's kind of just fell flat there. We're like, ah. Okay, so let's go around the room and introduce the host. My name's Little Egypt, and flanked by Cindy Americana. If you could tell people where they can find you on Twitter, and then we'll go around the room.
Sure, at Cindy Ferda.
Okay.
And Soy Luchador!
Oh,
And you can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RSCKHONG.
Rick, I always hate following you because I can never measure.
I gotta get into character!
Hey everyone, my name is Candice Cruz, and you can find me on all of my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
And I'm Alex Rich, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Alex Jordan Rich.
Awesome.
JORDAN, in case
Awesome.
you were confused.
No Ian.
No Ian.
Okay.
AN.
Okay.
AN for the win.
All right. So, oh my gosh, what a fun lineup today. I got to watch 7 and 8 one more time, and I have to tell you, I saw so many little things that I didn't catch before. Like it was little subtleties. But before we go into the subtleties, I wanted to share with you a little bit about our special guest here with us today, Americana.
I always love this.
Yeah, I worked with Americana actually in season 1 and 2, and one of the only matches I ever won was because of this lady right here.
Hey! It's friendship
So yeah,
right there.
right?
Shout out.
Yeah. So I want to give it to you. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Happy to help.
Yeah, you know, we would always get called the matches. Like the following week, they'd say, "Oh, you're tagging with so and so," and if it would be like, Egypt, you're tagging with Fiji against Chainsaw and Spike. I was like, okay, we're losing that one. It's like, Egypt, you're tagging with Americana against Soul Patrol. Yes! Winning, because you don't lose with Americana, and I love that about you. So tell us about your story. How did you find your way into Glow?
I found my way into Glow very early on. I mean, this is back when they first were holding auditions, and the auditions were being held. I think it was the Hyatt on Sunset in Hollywood, and you know, a bunch of us went down there. The agent called, and I went down there. And oddly enough, I had had some stunt training in college, and I thought, okay, I can kind of use this, you know, during my audition process. So I'm there doing my dive rolls and so forth, you know, right there, you know, in the room at the hotel, and I thought, okay, that's got to count for something, you know. And then, you know, within a week or so after we had the callbacks, I ended up getting the contract for it, and I thought, wow, this is just, you know, it seems kind of too good to be true, too easy, you know, because I had just finished 2 years in a theater arts program down in San Diego, and I was headed off to NYU, Tisch School of the Arts, for my junior and senior year, and I thought, okay, I'll live in LA, you know, for a little bit and just see if I can pick up anything. And it was Glow, and who knew what was going to happen? With
You picked up wrestling.
Just a little something. And the cool thing about that was that they were paying us to train. I don't know if you guys remember that or knew any of that, because this was a little bit before your time. And I thought, oh, that's awesome. They're going to pay us $75 to show up and train 3 times a week. I go to the gym anyway. Sure, I'll do this. And that's kind of how they whittled us down. you know, because they could tell over the period of 6 or 8 weeks as we were training, who was evolving, you know.
So you were in the pilot episode?
So it's in the pilot episode, and our characters kind of evolved as David McLean and Matt Simber got to know us, you know, and then because they didn't know who was going to be what character. They didn't even know what characters they were interested in until they kind of met us and, you know, saw the personalities.
Did you help prod them along with Americana, or did they have something in the back of their head that they wanted an American hero?
I think they knew that they wanted something like that, and I remember when Matt and David, you know, came to talk to me about that, and I thought, well, this is great. I didn't necessarily think, oh, that's going to mean that I'm going to be, you know, hold the Glow crown, you know, for 35 or 36 episodes. That was kind of just a bonus, you know, that came afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so I get to win all the time too. This is so cool.
Yeah, won the lottery on that one.
Exactly. It was exciting. And then I even went to NatP when we, after we finished the pilot, to go sell the pilot. We had our little mock ring all set up, which was really fun. And people were coming there taking pictures, and we were doing little button press things. You know, people take their picture and get a little button to go. So I'm sure there are still buttons out there. If anyone has any of those buttons from 30-some years ago, let us know.
What is that? We have someone knocking at the door.
Yeah.
How rude. Can you believe someone would interrupt a
Is this
pilot?
like a surprise guest?
I don't know.
Maybe.
What are you doing? Hello. I heard there were some cool people in here. How are you?
How are you?
Get it in.
Get it here.
Oh,
Crash, how you doing? All right.
You can come sit.
Oh, I love
I'm
it
so excited to see you. Hi.
Oh my God.
So nice to meet you.
No, you've met me before.
Here, sit down and tell us your story. Put your mic on real quick and tell
And
us
then
that
come
story.
come towards me. Like we're looking right there.
What up,
Yeah,
Kia?
Oh, I love
Hi.
it.
I'm so
This
excited.
is so exciting.
You
Ladies,
met me
Yes.
before. I was a little kid. You were filming. You were starring in a movie called Provoked.
Oh my gosh.
And my mother played one of the villains.
Oh my
A little bit more this way.
gosh, yes.
Come towards me a little bit more.
Small
There's like looking right there so they get you.
world,
There
like,
we go.
all around.
There we
Played one of
go.
the villains.
I
and
see the resemblance.
You remember
To
that?
your mom, yeah,
Yes, Phyllis Durant, and she brought me on set to meet you, and you were so nice to me.
yeah.
And I told you how I wanted to be a glow girl, and I couldn't even hear what you were saying because I was so mesmerized that I was
Oh my
meeting you. And just thank you for that. And also thank you for shooting my mom in the back. And
Let me just say, she deserved it
she
in
deserved
that
it. She had it coming. Do you still have that
Of
movie?
course,
Do you
of course.
I would like it burned. We had 2 fires
I will-
growing up,
Oh,
and if I could get a
sorry.
copy from you, I would love
I
that.
will.
'Cause
I'd be
she's
happy
passed
to.
on. I don't know if you know she's passed
I'm so
on.
sorry.
So I would love to see her on tape.
Oh.
I've got it. You've got. I have extra copies.
Oh.
They're not DVDs. They're VHS tapes.
Oh yes, I
So
still
good luck with that.
I still have a VHS.
Yeah,
DVD,
there we go.
DVR
Gosh.
player, or was it DVD?
DVD.
Yeah.
DVD.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
DVD player, so yes.
This is
One of
something.
those
You
old
can- you
DVD
can take
players
any.
with a TV. I still have one of those.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, the ones
got
from
one
the
of those, too.
kitchen. So I just had to come in and say hello and
Oh.
crash your party.
Oh,
So
right.
you know,
We love it.
guys
We love it.
here.
Great.
And
Hi.
I have to run now because I got to take my husband to work.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I got to come back.
Yay.
And I'm here right now because I'm doing AfterBuzz. My podcast is Ringside Pop. It's going to be on at 11 on Sundays. So cheap plug, everybody.
No, hey, plug away.
Please,
Please, plug
See
away.
you more often now.
Yes, we're going to be here more often.
Yay.
So, yes,
Yay.
please.
Oh.
You please get her
I
stuff
will.
for me.
Uh-huh,
So you can,
absolutely.
'cause I would love to see my mommy on tape again. It would be my dream.
Oh my
And
gosh,
I'm
you got it,
so
girl.
glad to have met you. Can I get a picture with you?
Yes.
I know you guys are filming.
Oh, no, it's mine. It's mine.
Crash. I am marking
Okay.
out right.
Is she
It's
coming
called
over
marking
here?
out.
Okay.
Okay, Kia's going to come over for a quick picture, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Bear with us for just another
Okay,
minute.
scrunch in. Okay, here we go.
It's going to be a little 5-second count.
This is so exciting.
Okay, all right, it's going to go 5 seconds. Here we go.
This is what happens when you tune in.
Yeah. So y'all should stop.
Awesome.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and your headband
Oh, you got
too.
that afterglow buzz filter on there.
We did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
I got locked up.
And now I don't know
Wait.
how to
You're a
I'll go
wrestler,
back.
you
I'll go
get
back.
it? Oh my gosh.
Favorite moment of AfterBuzz ever.
That was
you.
that
Did
was
you
my
know?
favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
my
did?
gosh.
I ran into
Sneaky.
Kia. I came early and I saw Kia, and I remembered her story
Oh, so good.
from her first time on our podcast. And I was like, Kia, oh my God, Americana's coming on. She's like, oh, I'd love to meet her. I said, better yet, if you can sneak in and share that story.
I
and
love
she
it.
That was
did.
so
Yeah.
so
Oh
tricky.
gosh.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Right? I had chills. That was beautiful.
I know.
It
Like, so
was.
amazing.
I know.
Oh, I'm so excited to get her that tape.
Yeah, yeah. What a powerful story too. To
Right.
meet Americana when she was a little girl because she wanted to be a glow girl, and then look at her now.
Isn't it
Yeah, she's a
incredible
glow
the
girl.
way that life works? Like when you put it in the universe and you're so passionate about something, like
Yeah.
it does provide always, and that's so nice to see like the
Yeah.
full
The wraparound.
circle. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah. How crazy was that? Was that so awesome?
It was so awesome.
Loved it.
Yay.
So you guys all
too.
got a first.
Yeah. That was all going down right now.
Exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us about your experience with Glow. Did you know when you were going out for your audition that like it was about wrestling, or what
Yep.
work did you do to prepare yourself?
Ooh, so I actually, cool story, taped
Yeah.
for Chris Lowell's part in my bathroom, because that's what actors do. So,
With a
Did a
laptop
song.
or a camera?
with an iPad.
Oh,
an
see?
iPad on a
Yep.
tripod.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was acting in my bathroom, and then we
Were you sitting on the toilet?
I was sitting on the toilet. No, yeah, I set up a little chair, put up a sheet against my wall. I
Okay.
had this whole it was
Uh-huh.
not as fancy as a studio, but I had my own little studio. And then I got called in to audition for Florian a couple weeks later, which was cool. Because, and then, so I actually got the call that I was cast on a Monday night. I had my fitting and I got my script on Tuesday, and then I started shooting at like 5 a.m. on Wednesday.
That's
Oh
insane.
my
Or
gosh.
something.
That quick.
So yeah, my preparation was more of a panic than prep, but it was so much fun, and everybody was so like lovely when you got to set, and everybody was welcoming, and it was such a vibrant, lovely experience with like the girls are so welcoming, and it was just incredible to be on that set. So everybody made me feel at home, and I got to discover my character as. I think everybody gets to kind of find out more as you spend more time with a show. So it's cool to see everything develop and come together, and you get to
Yeah.
work with different directors and the show creators, and everybody was just so fantastic that they really helped guide me to where I needed to get.
You were so cute. Okay, first of all, he looks like Tom Hanks, right?
Oh,
A little
right,
young
young Tom
version
Hanks.
of Tom
She
Hanks.
said that earlier.
There you
I was
go.
like, I've never done that before, but I'll take it. I will
And-
take it.
Wait, who do you get?
Who do I get? I get Charlie Cox sometimes.
Oh, sure, man.
Yeah.
Daredevil. There you
Yeah,
go.
Daredevil.
Okay.
I can see that.
I used to have longer hair, and I would get Adrian, Entourage.
Oh, yeah.
Renner.
I saw that.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yep. I've gotten a fair amount of people, but never Tom Hanks. and
But
I'm
today
pretty-
it's Tom Hanks.
Today
Like,
it's
the
Tom
shorter
Hanks.
hair and the.
Did you
You could've
cut
said a
your
nicer
hair
thing.
before you auditioned? Is
I
that
cut-
how you got called in, or did you have the long hair and then you cut it for the role?
So the hair was slightly longer than it is now, but it was I had already cut off because she met me actually.
With
interestingly.
long hair.
It was like
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
If y'all go on my Instagram, you can see it was like Beauty and the Beast pre-transition, pre as Beast.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I cut it actually right before
Okay.
my audition, and then that's all my real hair on
Wow,
on
that's
set.
so awesome because it's quintessential 80s,
Yeah.
right? And here you are with this big, ridiculous hair. What did it
Yep.
feel like to think like when you're in that costume and your hair's up and like people walked around like this and felt cool?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you're talking about because I felt cool as shit.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Coolest man.
Wait,
on
what
the block.
kind of hair product are they using? Because back then it was the pink
Aquanet.
Aquanet. So I want to
Yeah.
know when you sat in the chair, what are they actually doing to? What was
I
it?
mean,
Elevated.
there were all kinds of bells and whistles. I give that like the wardrobe and hair and makeup and styling really pulled Florian
Wow.
together.
Wow.
Like when they turned me around and I saw like my sky high hair, I was like, I know, okay, we got this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know who this dude is. I'm on board. I was so excited. I wish I could do that myself. I would have today.
Yeah.
But those are skills I've yet to develop.
Plus, I don't think the headphones would have fit
No, they wouldn't.
on at all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it would. Yeah, it would ruin the right.
Yeah, it would be just like poof, band, poof, and it would be great.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that your Bash is. What's the best way to say that? You're not his significant other. You're his house. You're his house chum.
No, it's
or
like best friend.
Best friend.
Best
right?
friend.
It's like it's like Batman and
place to
Robin.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. I love that. And
Yeah.
you have an attitude. Like
Okay,
you
yeah,
got
I
a
mean-
bit of an attitude.
When you get that close to somebody and you're in their house
Yeah.
and stuff, I think it's
Yeah.
okay to push back.
You're hanging out in their sauna with the phone.
Yes.
And everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Just so sad. So sad when I'm left behind.
Now you're working with a talented group of women, and there was one scene with Betty Gilpin where
Mm-hmm.
she's crying, and I'm wondering how many takes that took, and was it? I mean, when you're sitting across another actress who's just having to hit
Phenomenal.
that over and over and over, do you just kind of like? Are you in awe while
Yeah.
you're watching it?
So that was actually the very first scene that I filmed
Oh.
on the show.
Oh, wow. What a way to
okay.
bring in,
Well,
right?
And I
thank
was
you,
like,
right in.
guess we're doing it. We're in. We're in it. She's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
mind-blowingly amazing. And sitting there on the couch, I was like, this is great because she's literally doing such incredible work that I get to sit back and just kind of soak it in. I didn't have to really
Yeah.
put anything on. I could just. She really was carrying so much in her with
Yeah.
that scene on that couch.
You weren't looking at her being like, you know what? You're hideous. You're ugly. You suck. Like, I don't know what your credits are.
She's so good. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lovely. I couldn't have chosen a more epic entree onto the show. It was
Right. So here's Betty Gilpin, right?
Yes.
She adopts the Liberty Bell persona.
that she does.
How cool was that to see that happen for you watching it for the first time?
Oh my gosh, I loved that. I mean, for me, that was.
Was there a happy dance?
Yeah, a little bit of a happy dance, and also I'm a Betty Gilpin fan. I always have been. I've kind of followed
Yep.
her career. I think she's amazing. So when I saw that beginning to evolve, I was like, yes, this is great. This is awesome. It's wonderful to see, her paying tribute to, the wholesome all-American character. But I also kind of saw a little bit of, my Americana character in Ruth's character as well, kind of like a combo of the two. So I'm like just zoned in, watching the two of them and
Yeah.
seeing things that are, triggering memories for me, and so forth. And it was just really neat.
Yeah, because Ruth actually, her character came from the history of acting, right?
Right,
And so Americana also from those roots. So it was kind of like, well, I'm an actress and I'm going to take this part and I'm going to turn this part into something special. And that was where you saw a similarity with Ruth, right?
Oh, yeah,
well, the
definitely,
fact that they look a lot alike too. I actually, when I was watching how this was going to play out, I was like, that's going to be Americana.
Yeah.
Ruth's going to be Americana. I know it. And then I'm like, that's not Americana. That's Nanuchka. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I was the biggest cheerer. I was watching it with my family, and I was just, every time I saw a character emerge, I was just like, oh, you must be so excited. Oh,
Yes.
you must be
Yep.
watching this right now with a big smile on your face, because what a way to pay tribute to the work that we did over 30 years ago. And that's to like loosely base these new characters on what's been on YouTube now for the last decade, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you get to speak with Betty a little bit? Did you? Because we've asked a couple of the former Glow Girls that have come on, or the original Glow Girls that have come on that have spoken to either their counterpart or some of the new Glow Girls and talked to them. Have you spoken to Betty at all?
No, I haven't actually. I mean, I would love to, but I haven't.
That would be amazing to
Yeah,
have like
so
a
Hey,
duo,
Betty
like,
Gilpin, if
hey,
you're
Betty.
watching,
So
she
Betty,
wants to talk to you.
Call me.
Yeah,
Right.
tweet her.
Betty, please come on to our show.
Oh, yeah,
we
we'd love
can
that.
have
There we go. We can have you back on Americana. And just like,
Yeah.
the two.
Yeah, and then with that character too, the way Liberty Bell plays her character, I think there's also a shout out or a reference to the farmers' daughters in the sense that Liberty Bell always goes y'all and God bless America, because this Americana, and this Americana was like who you'd want on the front lines. Right. You know, like this was the, you know, we're all American, perfect. I remember when I saw Americana when I first saw her. She was a Glow champion when I came in at the end of season 1. She was doing moves that I couldn't even fathom. Like I couldn't even imagine that I was going to actually have to take my feet off the ground. That like blew me away. And I was like in awe of this woman. And she was really Americana off the set too, because she really, you walk that way, you are that person, you just,
That is so lovely.
she carries herself.
Yeah. So is it
beautiful?
So being a champion, is it, you know, somewhere I read once where I think Hulk Hogan was making a knock on the Ultimate Warrior. Because Hulk Hogan was like the champion for like 4 years. Yeah. And they're finally like, you need to kind of give this belt to somebody else. Yeah. And the Ultimate Warrior had it for like a small time, or maybe it was even Macho Man. But, you know, Hulk, like there's like a certain burden being the champion. Like in terms of like not only like in the ring, but outside the ring. I don't know if you felt that, like being, like having to be a champion for so long, for that many weeks, as opposed to, can someone else be the champion for a couple of weeks? I'm just gonna go chill it. I don't know if you felt that, or you were just like, yeah, I'm number 1.
Hey, I loved the I'm number 1 aspect of it, but you know, people that followed the show and people that go on YouTube now and look at some of those old matches, there were moments when it was pulled from me, you know, just like, you know, we're probably going to be seeing, you know, in future episodes of the new Glow show. But for the most part, I think I was young and naive. I mean, you're talking about this is a group of girls, like, you know, 20 years old, you know, 20, 21. I mean, they're, you know.
Well, how old were you at that point?
I was, during the pilot, or during rehearsal, I think I was 20 or 21, somewhere in there.
So almost legally, kind of, you could kind of drink, maybe not.
Yeah, so like just barely legal. Like once we were all living at the Riviera Hotel, and we had access, you know, to a couple of cocktails every night.
There you go.
I believe at that point I was finally 21, so it made it a little bit more official.
Did you ever go back to school? Because you said that you waited and did Glow and then did Tish.
I put Tish off till January, but then we got picked up.
Yep.
Okay, I can go to school, and even though I had a partial scholarship, I can spend money, you know, even back then it was still quite expensive for NYU. I can spend money and do that to study to be an actor, or I can just continue taking this role as an actor / wrestler. One of the things that really hit me up with the Ruth character was that moment when she was like, okay, so are we going to be acting also, or is it just wrestling? I was so like that with Matt and David. I was like, can I?
Script?
Yeah. I mean, I'll do the wrestling, but I want to do the acting.
Yeah, I want the skits. More skits, please.
Right. So that hit home with me.
So funny.
Yeah.
So episode 7 was titled Live Studio Audience, and it opens up with the girls having to promote their first live show. What an awesome way to share what we actually had to do as well, because we had no budget. I mean, Rickless was the money man, but still it was a very small budget. With that being said, we were at the NAPD convention. We would go sell our show. You know, we would have to pitch it, and watching these girls go out there and rallying people to the first live event was really kind of a cool little, you know, shout out to that. And then
where was NAPD?
It's in New Orleans.
It was in New Orleans.
There
Okay.
was
That's a great place to promote women's wrestling. I mean, I was trying to figure out. It's like, were you in the South? Were you like in Seattle, in New York, like trying to sell this thing?
Down
Okay,
South
you're in New
would
Orleans.
do really well.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No doubt.
I was at the NAPD in Vegas. I think it moves around.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
sure.
No, it does. It does. That's why I was curious.
So, money becomes an issue with Bash during this, right? And then Brittany takes Debbie and Ruth to the backyard of her family's house to take some real bumps. That was kind of cool to watch. And then as it's kind of all coming together, one of my most favorite moments was the 80s sports montage. Yeah. I love that they did an 80s sports montage. When was the last time you've seen one of those?
I know. They need to bring those.
Right?
Yeah, they need to bring that back in full
80s?
force. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to the writers and the director and everyone who wanted to give it a real 80s flavor, because that was just like that little subtlety.
Yeah, it's like the Rocky IV
Yeah.
trainings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did anything stand out to anyone regarding episode 7?
What I really loved about episode 7 is, I mean, regardless of why, you know, the two main characters hate each other this whole time, they're finally starting to find their way back together. Because if you have, like, for females especially, and I know that's coming from my perspective, when I've had friendships, if we've fought or argued and then come back together, like, everything comes back and you remember why. Even if I'm still mad at you, like, there's still this bond and this movement of, like, I know you better than you know yourself, or I know what you're going to do or what you need. And so even seeing them getting ready to go into the ring and then saying, like, 5 minutes to show, and then both chiming in the same way, you know, on deck and whatnot, just was really nice to see them kind of come back together.
Yeah, it really feels like a very nuanced and true and great relationship that they've crafted. And I mean, with all the girls too, like watching Sheila the She-Wolf birthday experience
was great,
incredible as well. I mean, it all feels very real, which I think is such a feat to accomplish when you're dealing with like relationships that everybody at this table and at the couch can.
Dude, I'm in another room. I don't know what you're talking about.
That everybody can identify with in like a very true way. I think that's what acting, you know, is supposed to accomplish.
See, I was trying to figure out if you're the director, it's just go out and skate. I'm just gonna shoot you. Just go out and skate. Go have fun. Same thing with The Ring when the real actresses Alison and Betty are in the ring and they're kind of working out their moves. I'm wondering if it's just like, I'm just gonna shoot you. You guys just go up there and try to figure out your moves and everything. And like, I wasn't sure if that was like, okay, we're taping. Pretend like you're trying to figure out your moves, that you know how this sequence is supposed to happen, or if it was just, you guys are trying to figure it out right now, I'm just going to set up the camera, go, and then I'm going to incorporate it later. If it works, if it doesn't, then I'll do something else. Like, that's kind of like when I was watching, I was like, that's interesting. Yeah. That's something that I don't direct, but if I was, I would just be like, I'm going to set the camera up, just do your thing first, then we'll go back and we'll do like a pretend rehearsal of like you guys trying to figure out how to do the clothesline. And
well, you were there. You actually saw some of those. I
saw some. I didn't see a lot from these 2 episodes. I wasn't on set for a lot of the wrestling matches for these ones, but so I can't actually say what exactly happened when they were filming those, but
there were different directors too, maybe right? Like each director, one might be very scripted, one might be
every director has their own style. We were so lucky to be able to work with the people that we were able to work with in this show. I mean, like the whole well, I mean, now I'm just like gushing, but the whole thing is such an exceptional like feat. It's such like a well done show. I just can't.
And you're so proud of it, huh?
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
As I should be.
As you should be. As
What's so cool about what you're saying is the camaraderie that you guys are experiencing. That's what we had. There was this sisterhood that we had back all those years ago. And I think part of it was also we're all just thrown into the Riviera Hotel, and then you hit go, and like it's just all happening. And you know, you have a roommate all of a sudden that you're rooming with, and this is someone that you've never really spent any time with, but now all of a sudden, guess what? You get to know them. If you're living with them, you get to know them really, really well.
Yeah, and I'm sure like the physical element also kind of binds you together, because there's that like scary, real, you're throwing each other around. It's like you're, I mean, all up.
And you can get
business.
And you have to have each other's back, because you really can get hurt. And I'm sure, you know, people on the show, on your show, you know, hopefully no one's hurt themselves terribly, but I'm sure they've gotten a few bumps and bruises, no doubt.
It's very, I mean, all of the women were really wrestling.
Yeah, so it's real. It's not fake. People always say, "Oh, is wrestling fake?"
Yeah,
we're taking those bumps.
Right.
We're doing those moves.
But falling really far is fake. Sorry.
Right.
No, that's not at all.
No,
you climb up to that the top rope and jump down.
That part was incredible too. Watching Betty's character struggle with
that
the
big
height
move,
which was actually really
great
cute.
watching it go over and over. I loved that they kept doing the shot over and over. It was fantastic.
I know, and she was so awkward, which is so real, because when you take your first bump,
Right.
Like when that very first move never looks pretty.
Yeah.
It looks just like that.
Yeah.
Very embarrassing, and you don't want cameras on.
Right.
But it is just uncomfortable and weird, and then you get brave. But I agree with you, Candice. You're starting to see now in episode 7 the tribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Starts evolving.
And especially from 7 going into 8, you see that Ruth has that heartfelt feeling when the ex comes in and you just make that eye contact and there's nothing you can do. And then obviously that feeds into episode 8 where with the divorce and the on and off again, and that's just a whole issue in and of itself. And then, the bomb dropping at the end of episode 8 was really crazy to watch. But what I did like in the middle of episode 8 was like the roller rink, like just to see the camaraderie that was so effortless by the actresses together and giving that feel for everybody to understand that that's, what happens when you put a bunch of women together or men or a group of people together for that long amount of time. There's going to be this like family unit that starts to form if you just give it enough time.
Yeah. And like when Ellen or Fortune Cookie was just she was so excited. I loved that because it's I think we've all had that experience where you're like, oh yeah, I'm just not gonna do anything this year for my birthday, and then you've got that one friend who's like, we're doing something.
That's me. I'm like, it's a birthday, let's go. We gotta go get cake. We gotta go somewhere. Where are we going? What are we doing? Who am I inviting?
Yeah.
So I loved it. It was awesome.
There was that moment when she brings out the cake with the candles, and it was so beautiful
sweet.
That they went 106 for
Wolf years.
My dog years, wolf years.
I love it.
Very different.
I love
very
it.
different.
So sweet. And then it was Kia's character who whispers to Ellen, who plays Fortune Cookie, and that was like, look, you did your job. She's happy. She's happy. Like, let it go. Like, you took it as far as you could take it. And I love that counsel from women. One of the things that's really dynamic is that when women are together, when you take the competition away from women, they immediately start nurturing, and they immediately start getting very protective. And then the mama bear comes out. And when we're in a tribe, right, we're all mama bears. And then God forbid if someone screws with one of the ladies, right? Like, God forbid if
Watch
you
out,
come
you're
into
done.
you're done. It's over.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm starting to see evolve, which I really love, because there's not a lot of television out there right now that explores this particular dynamic of women with women in this, but it is competitive too. With these girls. And one of the things when I'm watching season 7, I made some notes to myself because I didn't want to forget. That was where you saw the rap starting to emerge.
Yes. So good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, was that
That's the moment. Yeah, that's like my highlight moment right there, because I was there at the beginning of putting that whole thing together, and it just from the moment we started creating it, you just knew there was going to be something about it. It was going to possibly even become iconic if anything would happen with the show. There was nothing else on TV like that at the time. And then, to have each of us have to create our own individual, little rap song. And this is like right when rap's like really kind of getting big and coming out. And it was perfect timing. And the costumes and the glitter and the little stories that each girl came up with for her character in her little rap. I loved it.
So,
which is kind of like, you reminded me of part of episode 8 where Ruth gets to go to see the ring for the first time. And him just explaining it and her awe. And then at the end she just goes, and glitter. And it was just like so epic at that moment, that she gets it. And it's like when it finally became a reality versus like, okay, we're a bunch of girls trying to do this show that we don't know will go anywhere. She finally realized the full picture and the scope of what could happen, which is beautiful.
And when she said glitter, that was another moment for me. A simple word, but it had such deep meaning, as Angelina, Little Egypt, knows as well. We had glitter in every orifice.
It's like sand,
right?
I love that.
Yeah,
that makes
for
me happy. My nails are literally glitter right now.
Everything was about glitter for all of us, and it was always in your eyes, and it was in uncomfortable places, but it was just beautiful and sparkly, and we loved it. And back when we were doing Nappy, when we were selling the pilot, again, the show is, true to life as far as like the girls, for the pilot do their own hair and makeup. We were just solo. We were on our own for that. But after we did the pilot and we realized the show was getting picked up, and we were in Nappy, David and I think Matt and myself and who else would have been with us? Maybe Matilda and Hollywood. We were walking down a street in New Orleans, and there was this lady doing face painting, and just like in this little corner, and she had her little basket of all of her goods and everything, and it was something, hey, can I paint your face for $2? I mean, she wasn't making a lot of money, and this was how she made her living. She ended up coming on our show. She was the one. She was our hair and our professional hair and makeup person. So we brought her. Not many people know this. We brought her from New Orleans to live in Las Vegas at the Riviera Hotel.
Wow.
All of a sudden, she's living this life, doing this TV show with a regular paycheck. And she was amazing. Her work was terrific.
Oh my God, amazing. Yeah. What I'm just going to add to that, because Matt Simber was the one that made her the offering, and what he did is he took a $100 bill out of his pocket and he ripped it in half, and he said, I'm going to give you this, and if you want the other half, meet me at the airport tomorrow at this time, and you'll get the other half of this 100. And he offered her.
I remember that.
I
remember that. If you're ripping $100, I'll come wherever you want me to go.
Right,
I don't know who rips a $100 bill.
Yeah. And he was like, she showed up, and it was just like these plastic bags, and you just like no luggage. She had nothing, and she showed up, and then she was the best makeup artist and artist. We were so happy to have her for as long as we did.
Yeah, beautiful person, such a nice lady. It was so well deserved.
Yeah. So do you know your rap?
I don't remember my own personal one. I just remember our, our regular
you don't
one.
remember
Peer pressure.
I need a rap.
USA! USA!
Americana is my name. I fight for glory and I fight for fame. And then I don't remember the rest. So please, yes.
Oh man, it'll
Send
be up
that
on
over
YouTube
to me.
somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
That was good though.
That was really good. I got one over that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So I have to ask, because we had Godiva on last week, and she said she got fined left and right for breaking curfew. You're the champion. You're at the Riviera.
Perfect.
You're
She's
21
perfect.
years old. You're in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Were you partying late a lot, or you're like, dude, I'm the champion. I've got to set the example. I'm going to bed. It's like 10 o'clock.
I was kind of a good girl.
I told you.
And
I looked up to her.
I don't even remember having a curfew situation going on the first.
She was already like, I'm already in, so I
But
don't know
I was the trainer also. Once we got to Vegas, so I had like an extra responsibility. Royal Hawaiian, April Hom, who played the fabulous Royal Hawaiian, she and I were hired for the first 6 or 8 months, I think it was, as the trainers. And then after April had left,
Debbie Dallas.
Is that who stepped in with me? I don't even remember now. Attaché, I remember. But that also meant, the responsibility of, showing up and, not having had a difficult evening.
But tired by the end of it anyway.
Yeah, Candice.
By the end of it, wait, what?
I'm kidding. I'm
kidding. Come on.
What I found was really interesting in episode 7 was the fact that they had to kind of piece this project together with Bash running out, getting a sponsor, and really
Losing the
Rickless.
camera.
Yeah, right. Oh, then money became an issue, and it was God, I was so nervous. I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Like I know what's gonna happen. But with that being said, it was kind of cool that the branding was such a big part of like where they're taking this show, because we were wrestling, and Fabergé and Brie were owned by the owner of the Riviera Hotel, Meshulam Rickless, and so we were like wrestling on the promotion. Yeah.
And that's still true now, because look at like the way it's kind of changed with the times of how much branding plays a part in everything. So I liked that they put that in there.
Patio Town.
Patio Town was great.
What did you guys think in that first live match where Junk Chain and Welfare Queen come out against the KKK?
No.
It was so
It was
bold.
perfect. It was
so
perfect. I love that. I love that.
I fell for it when they pulled that mask off. That was like,
run
away.
And then,
run away.
Yeah.
Her mask and the robe. Like,
Yeah.
The robe's
thing.
fine.
Yeah.
Just leave my mask on at that point.
What a nice shout out to just how inappropriate we were as a television show. We actually did have Sarah and Mabel fight. I think Soul Patrol or two girls, and I mean we actually had this stuff going on. We had Matilda the Hun and Hollywood and Vine come out with swastikas on their clothes.
It was so wrong.
And you and Mount Fiji were in that match, right? Yeah. So it was Americana and Mount Fiji against Hollywood.
It starts
and
discussion.
Matilda. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does. Yeah,
it gets
definitely.
people talking.
I mean, but that was also the 80s. In the 80s, there's a lot of very, like, unpolitically correct things that happened in the 80s for things to become politically correct, so...
But the thing about that, though, was that's what got the audiences revved up.
Yeah.
They ate it up. They loved to hate things, you know, whatever they could just, like, scream, hoot, and holler about.
Yeah, whatever
it was
gets a
great.
response.
Whatever gets them out of their chairs and up and just shouting for something, that was great. When things were just, you know, kind of vanilla, it was kind of a forgettable match. And there were plenty of matches that were you know, well choreographed and well done, but kind of vanilla. Yeah. And it was just the excitement of, you know, those off the wall, totally inappropriate characters that came about that excited them, it seems like.
That's so funny because Liberty Bell, when she comes out, which is, it's so funny. She says her 3 favorite Americans. Do you remember that? Ronald Reagan, Larry Bird. I don't even know where that one came from. Larry Bird and Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Right?
Done.
American?
America.
Yes,
Like,
Yay, America.
so good. What a brilliant
That was great writing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's your take on season 7? Like, what were your thoughts?
episode
Yeah,
7.
I'm sorry. I just blessed it. You're going episode 7.
I was like, we're
You're in season 7 now.
Yeah, we are in season 7.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this moment where you're gonna be back here to talk about season 7 with
Hey,
us.
let's do that.
Yeah, but
I'm
what
on
about
board.
episode 7? So what was your take? Because the next one, episode 8, we really dig into some really deep personal issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, it's hard to put one episode above or another, but like, just the really concrete and pure way that they develop the relationships between the women and how everything just unfolds in such an organic, like watching the wrestling training and like having like Ruth and Liberty Bell like really go with Carmen into like a backyard and like throw down and get welcomed by like it's so it feels so real. It's like exactly what I imagine. Like it could, you know, it seems like a very realistic way to have gone through this process. And I thought that it's all just so well done. And to watch the very organic unfolding of these relationships and this physical skill and the trials and tribulations of the show, like watching it all come together so naturally was really well done in the episode.
At the final credits rolling on episode 7, it was in loving memory of Chavo Guerrero, and Chavo Guerrero Jr. was the trainer on the set, and that was all happening at the same time, which I thought was so appropriate and so
perfect episode to do that for.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really nice, beautiful shout out.
Yes.
Episode 8, though, right? It's called Maybe It's All Just
I'm waiting till we talk about that one elephant in the room about this episode.
Yeah, why don't we just head right there? Because here's
You mean the birthday?
No.
Oh, the birthday. Yeah, that's it.
Or the unbirthday.
Rick.
Yikes.
He actually said it.
Yeah.
Yikes. Hey, if it's vanilla, people aren't watching, right? So.
Case in point.
I love that they went head on with that though.
Yeah.
I do, because the thing is that it's been such a big controversial issue to talk about. It's so PC right now to be talking about. But that's a reality for a lot of women in general, and I'm glad that they didn't sugarcoat it and not show it happening. I was waiting for them to shoot her going into the room and it be done. The fact that they showed her going to the room and had that very real feeling and the tears and the moment where he said, I feel like I should ask you if this is something you really want to do. I feel like it's such an amazing moment for those women out there that are struggling with the decision or have made that decision or something like that in their life has happened. I think is very nice that they are approaching these topics with such respect but not sugarcoating things. You know, because it's like everybody's like, no, here, I'm going to be on this stance, but I'm not going to talk anything else about it. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And that's, again, part of being a woman that we try to pretend doesn't happen, but it actually does.
Even with the period thing at the beginning of episode 8, that everyone's
Sisters of the Moon, you know.
I love that line.
Yeah, I was like,
great.
that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
We all get together, and that's what
Right.
happens. But Ruth says, it's not the right time, it's not the right baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that
And
broke
I
my
was
heart.
like,
beautiful.
wow,
Yeah.
that was a killer line. So here's like, if we were going to recap it, it was Sisters of the Moon. Sheila's having a birthday party. Bash went missing in action, and
He
then
missed breakfast for dinner.
He missed breakfast for dinner.
and you were so sad.
You were very sad about
sad.
that.
You did good.
Oh, thanks.
You're in the sauna,
Hey.
waiting.
Yeah, just chilling, trying to digest.
I was
I had
going
to
to
eat
say
2
the thing if
portions.
my boss
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Yeah.
A little pissed off, and I love that. I love that. And you were just getting, you were pretty, disappointed, but also, we could sense that there was a deeper relationship between
Old
you
school
and Bash
phone and everything.
Yeah, the brick phone. The brick phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun
there. Yeah, I love that phone.
scene
Yeah.
to shoot, but I don't want to take away from the elephant. In
Oh,
the room.
no,
Yes,
no.
yes.
I think we should balance it because it's
Yeah.
a very heavy subject
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, we saw a cameo with Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's
Yeah.
daughter. So that was kind of cool. That was really, really cool. I hope to see more cameos. I think that's a great way to introduce the industry into the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I got to meet her at the
Yeah.
premiere, and she's the loveliest. So
Yeah?
yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was really
awesome.
nice. Yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah, they were showing her dad
Yeah.
in the footage, like when the TV's
Yeah.
on and these girls are watching like how to wrestle. It
Yeah.
was her dad.
Yeah,
How incredible would that be to be
That is
like,
so
yeah,
cool.
that's my dad.
right.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, either that or it's just sounding like, I don't care about prayers, I don't care about vitamins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's so you're right. It was a very hard subject for them to write about, but I think they did a beautiful job. They weren't taking sides. They were just sharing
Reality.
intimate reality.
Yeah, I think
Right.
Alison did such a great job of keeping it so kind of understated and real. Like nothing
Yeah.
was over the top or
You could feel her pain.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. It felt very true.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
And
pushed or
honestly, it was that was kind of a turning moment of when I started to really like the character. You
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
it
That's
was
not-
kind of grating on me a little bit. I don't know about you, Rick. Were
Oh,
you,
see, for me, I loved when she did their turn, the Russian turn for sure.
Yeah,
And that,
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
our last episodes we discussed, but the other, as I talked about before, what I liked is, again, the more evolution of Sam and Ruth.
Yeah.
When he's there, and he's like,
Yeah.
And their
he's kinda,
relationship.
yeah, like they're the secretary or whatever, and he's like, we both don't like kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
He was a husband.
just maybe just
Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
lighten it up a little
Yeah.
bit, or just
Yeah.
be there for her.
Yeah, I love watching their friendship develop.
Yeah.
You know, and that's obviously a pinnacle moment. You know, when he steps in to help her with that.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to just have those lighthearted moments with this gargantuan-sized
Yeah.
dramatic issue going on.
Because for me, I would think that she would call one of the girls to say,
Yeah,
hey,
I thought
I'm
mom
going,
or someone's going to be
I'm
introduced.
going to something personal, but
Yeah.
instead having him be the guy that drives her there is like, oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
it's 14 girls and they talk.
I know that's what I
Yeah.
was
Sure,
like, it
no,
makes it
right,
feel,
right.
Yeah,
I
right,
ordered that
right.
out.
Yeah, because she's like, it's a very private thing, and I think she's like, Sam won't care. Like
Yeah.
he's so,
Yeah.
he's so like jaded. He's like
Yeah.
not gonna give her any shit for it.
Right.
Because the last time you kind of see something like this tackled was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
You, don't,
yeah.
you really don't see Jennifer Jason Leigh
Right.
there in that process, like the extra, I mean, it was also the 80s, so you weren't going to
Yeah.
see that, but you see that she's, okay, I've got to go to get this thing done, and then like I think you see her like end up coming back like in a cab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And her
right.
brother's like, what's going on? And that's it. So that's why I was like saying it's powerful to see that
Sure.
when she has to make the phone call, it's like, who does she call to say, I need someone there either to take me and it's Sam.
Yeah.
Well, that's the moment that their relationship, their friendship just goes to a whole other level.
Yeah.
And I just want to point something out very important for our friends out there, watching and listening to all of our stories. That's total Hollywood. You know, because I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, like, oh, did that really happen to one of the girls?
Oh, yeah, no.
That's you know,
Right.
kudos to the writers, you know,
Right,
for doing what they did, you know, and Jenji and Carly and everyone, you know, that whoever it was that came up with that element and said, hey, we need to add this. It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood, guys.
So Godiva didn't really sleep with the director. Britannica really wasn't in bed with. I love that.
I'm saying that at heart.
Yeah.
Some of the rest of it, you know, maybe, but that particular aspect.
Yeah, I remember there was a time where I was in training, and I remember the girl that I was training with just found out she was pregnant. She was 3 months pregnant. And I had to stomach stomp her, and she was like, "Just do it, just do it." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to do it." And she's like, "Do it. I don't want to lose my job." And I was like, yeah. This is like, so it was like the worst stomach. It looked so horrible because I did not want to touch her. Right. But that was like some of the things, the issues that they were dealing with is like, if something does happen, you're also off the show because you can't wrestle pregnant. You just can't, you know. Right. And so she ended up leaving the show. But that actually brought back one of those memories for me. Like, yep, that happens. You know, we bear children along the way.
Well, that's what I think is so amazing about, and we've addressed this in previous after shows, is that they're paying so much homage to you ladies, and, you know, bridging the gap for all the new audience members and for this new show, but it is very much its own entity at the same time. Yes. So it is very much Hollywood and creating its own life and its own relationships with the actors and whatnot. So it's very nice to kind of have the family, but also you all had yours and they have theirs, and it's very nice to have that like unity. But you know,
and one of the reasons I wanted to sign on to do this Glow AfterBuzz was for that reason right there. Was because one, I think people are curious and they're going to want to go down the Glow rabbit hole, so we're going to make that easy for you. And we're going to share that backstory. But at the same time, we love this new cast, and we want to welcome everyone to the family. So we have a new brother, ladies and gentlemen. Our first guy.
Hold it down for the Meta Glow.
Welcome to the family.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
happy to be here.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you, and that's the way we look at it. Because once you step in the ring, once you if you're in Glow, if you're affiliated with Glow, you're family. And there were people that were affiliated with our production that were not stepping in the ring, but were family to us. And you actually married someone from Glow.
I did, and had a son.
Awesome.
So
and had a son named Ryan.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so love can blossom even on the set of Glow. So maybe that'll. A little fortune telling. That's what Little Egypt does now.
Matchmaking.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to end the show for today, and I want to thank you so much for coming on as our guest. You guys were amazing.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. We're going to recap the last 2 episodes, 9 and 10.
Oh, it's over already. It's crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
They went by so fast.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming, and for everyone who joined us today. What a special show for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Did our engineer fall asleep?
No. Music song.
Oh, is it?
We're just exiting our ways and saying goodbye.
Oh my God.
Social media.
Okay.
Social media. Where we finding it?
Okay, yeah. So you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm like, that's our show. Goodbye.
Bye. I've done that.
Later.
It's all good.
Right?
Okay. So let's go through the whole cast one more time and help people find us. My name's Little Egypt. You can find me on Twitter at Little Egypt. That's so easy. Instagram at Little Egypt. Absolutely. And Facebook, the official page of Little Egypt. Where can people find you?
People can find me. I'm Cindy Ferda, and people can find me at Cindy Ferda, Ferda.
And you guys can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RICKHONG.
And guys, you can find me on all my social media at Candice Cruz.
And hey, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Alex Jordan Rich with an A-N for Jordan.
Please. Girls will go out of their way to find that.
Oh, hey, that's
Believe
nice.
me, they'll find you. Okay.
Please do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.